Hey there, Tiffany and Brad here with Years of Years, and it's this day in Disney for February 17th.
February 17th? Feels like this month just started.
I know, right? Feels like this year just started.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
right along.
Yeah, and today we're going back to, not far, to 2012.
Not far at all.
And you know, this is something on here we love to talk about, and it has the Disney connection with Studio Ghibli. We love Hayao Miyazaki and all the films, and so today we get to talk about another one.
We do.
Yes, so The Secret World of Arrietty is released in the US by Walt Disney Productions, and this is actually known as the Borrower Arrietty that was released in 2010 in Japan.
Because it's based off of The Borrowers.
Yeah.
Which has been redone many times, especially by the BBC. But even in the 80s, there's been other renditions of it. I loved the Littles. Like Saturday Morning, the Littles, their logo, everything. I mean, I still love that font, like Cooper Black, that they used for the Littles. I mean, it's based on it because of that show.
Yeah, for sure.
Love it.
It's Mary Norton is the author of The Borrowers, and also you would like that she's the author of The Magic Bedknob, or How to Become a Witch in 10 Easy Lessons, and Bonfires and Broomsticks, which was all adapted to be the 1971 Disney film Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
There you go. Go to some rolling witchcraft there. Who knew there were 2 books that that movie was made out of?
Yeah.
Or based upon.
Disney films, yeah. So, the North American version, The Secret World of Arrietty, was directed by Gary Rydstrom, and he is also known as for Disney Pixar for his work at Bugs Life, Monsters Incorporated, and Atlantis.
Wow.
And
and the sleeper there, Atlantis, but really great movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been a huge fan of The Legend of Atlantis, like so many of us.
Yeah.
You know, I was excited for that film and very pleased with it. I think they did a great job.
Right.
I mean, it was in the time period of like Treasure Planet and some different films like that being done by other studios, you know, and that was happening, and it looked that way, but it was appropriate and right.
Oh, sure. But as far as these, Studio Ghibli films, they needed to be dubbed over, in the US it needed to be dubbed over, and they actually used Bridgit Mendler and Carol Burnett.
Carol Burnett?
Her voice is in this film.
My goodness.
So just
for
to
those
add
of you that don't know, like, syndication, like the Carol Burnett show went into syndication, I mean, many of us can still see her like pushing her little broom. How great that she came out and did this film at that time.
Wow. Yeah. So this film actually became the highest grossing film in the Japanese box office in 2010. So and
it's a lot of marketing. I mean, the studio had come of age, like international distribution.
Right.
And I mean, celebrities were lining up to like do voiceovers in other countries, North America especially, and coming out of retirement. I mean, Carol Burnett here.
So this particular version of The Borrowers, I mean, Hayao Miyazaki wrote the screenplay for this. So that the story, The Secret Life of Arrietty, is, different from The Borrowers. It's Hayao Miyazaki. It's based on the book, but he wrote the screenplay, so it's his own take. But he was not the director. The director for the film was Hiromasa Yonebayashi.
And a lot of these...
Well, I just want to say, like, this is the first time that he directed an animated feature film for Studio Ghibli. So before that, he had been an animator, so he's, moving up as Hayao Miyazaki takes a back role, so... Yeah,
and I love, these films, the films are so wonderful. But the bonus features are just as enlightening for many of these Ghibli films. And, it's very interesting how Miyazaki, like, writes these screenplays. He actually, like, goes away. He, like, goes away to, like, private places, even without his companion and wife, and just totally immerses himself in creating these stories in private locales and settings. I'd be so interested in the background of where he went to do this.
Well, this is interesting though, because it was his co-founder Isao Tahati and Hayao Miyazaki. They both have been talking about doing this kind of film for over 40 years.
So maybe this one was a lot more of a collaboration.
Yeah, okay. Well, they did collaborate in other films as well, but I'm just saying, like, the 40-year time spans as well, you know, thinking about it and so forth.
And we talked about that with, like, Cinderella, that it, you know, the first thoughts were at Laugh-O-Gram, but that it took many, many years to come to pass, but just ruminating those ideas and how they continue to grow. Yeah, so cool fact about this film. So, as I said, they had to have the voice casting for different places. They did a voice, their own thing for the United Kingdom, and this was Tom Holland's first. Oh my goodness! Our Spider-Man!
Film that he did the voice for, so...
Oh man!
Yeah,
like
cool?
Seriously, the world's like, you know, teenage superstar.
Right, everybody seems to love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I know Miles does, our guy.
Everybody's just like, where have you been? You are Peter Parker, what's up?
Yeah.
So good.
So, but this is a great film, and like we said, it's based on The Borrowers. It's really, really sweet. And you have, you know,
who doesn't
a heroine
dream that everything that disappears is being used by little people?
Oh yeah.
That they're in your walls, that they, you know, have needs, and that, you know, when you lose something, you've given it up to the greater or little good. Exactly. And this is based off, or not based off, this has a wonderful heroine in it, so it's a great film for, you know, girls to see. You know, this particular little, she's an older girl, but she's not a little girl, but she's a little people girl. But anyway, she just does such a good job of helping her family and her situation, and she befriends this boy who's a life-size boy who has cancer, and there's just so many elements of this film that are so heartwarming and wonderful and inspiring. So I don't know, go watch it. It's different than The Borrower. Yeah, you speak about her being like a little bit older in it, and because there's so many like characters that have similarities in the style and the art direction of Ghibli films, it almost kind of gives us an opportunity to see an adolescent version of Kiki, like a little bit older, you know? Yeah, a little bit. It's so fun. Yeah. And, man, she's so strong. She's so great. Yeah, for sure. So go watch this film. If you've seen it, tell us what you think of it, or what you think of The Borrowers. Or The Littles. Yeah, The Littles. Did you guys watch that show? I know Brad did. Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, that's it for this day in Disney.